Alright, I literally just finished Cradle to Cradle. It's a book about architecture and making things more efficient, written by William McDonough and Michael Brandbart in 2002, so about 14 years ago. And their picture is in the back there, and they talk about their history. The book they actually talk about, alright, because this thing really stands out. It is heavy and it's waterproof. It even says in the corner that it's waterproof. It says waterproof Durabook. They had to round the corners, I believe, probably because it'd be too sharp, being in this style of whatever the polymers that they use. They say that this book is a hybrid of or an example of something that could be melted down and reused for something of equal value. They say that this book is on the path to being something like what they want to create, something that can be reused. But this thing is like the weight. You compare this textbook, special events, and I'm just comparing the weight. It's heavier than this textbook. Okay? It's slightly heavier than this textbook. Because it's got to have thicker pages, it's polymer. And they're trying to talk about, in this book, the benefits. They're selling me on why it's so bad, the manufacturing the way it is today, the products that are made. A lot of the products that are made are for outside rather than inside. Even though we're making homes more efficient and airtight, there's all these chemicals and gases that are released from the chemicals, the paints, the structure, all of that, those plastics and stuff. When you walk, you're leaving shoe residue on the ground. You know, we got these soft feet, we need shoes, and we go through a lot. The tanning process of leather, it's not perfect. It causes a lot of residue chemicals that can cause cancer and mutagens and all that. The cars, they're not efficient. All right, they're made of this metal, and you can't just recycle an old car and turn it into a new one, because when they crush it all down, they crush copper in with it, and that's hard to remove from the steel, I guess. And copper will weaken the steel, so they really can't turn it into anything of equal value. All right, they're talking about all this bad stuff, and they don't really have a solution. The way it sounds. It's interesting reading, okay? It gets you thinking about it. I have to wonder, did Elon Musk read this book or something similar? This is written in 2002, and Elon Musk started Tesla afterwards, after the time frame at some point. And he was thinking, Elon Musk was thinking along the lines of reducing or improving the energy flow of how things are done. Maybe you could they're talking about ideally turning a product into something you could just throw on the ground and it'll fertilize the ground. Okay, that's like the whole theme, or just being able to turn something that's old into something new to be reused. Instead, we're burdened by landfills of old trash that's just not usable, and causes a lot of pollution. How do you reverse that trend? They're talking about not just changing a few ingredients in a food dish, but changing the whole menu. All right, you want to just completely change the whole approach, but I don't know how they're gonna do it. I mean, we've had a lot of opportunities to really experiment with everything. Everything has been discovered as far as I understand that is like safe. There's really super harmful things, which they actually grade the X list. Super harmful things in the X list, and then there's a gray list, and then there's a P list for other things that are not quite as dangerous. But some of these cadmium, we need those for batteries. I don't know if there's anything else that's of equal value that we could use. I mean, we just look at this book. They don't talk about the weight of this book. A lot of times to make something more recyclable, you got to add weight to it, and that causes problems with transportation costs. And they talked about how it would be important to create things locally as well, and the importance of that. It's making your home sustainable in its own sense, create its own electricity and all this stuff, like it's a tree. All right, make our homes like trees are efficient. But I question that, because I mean, trees do compete with each other too. Not all trees have this focus like it's like a plant similar to dandelion, where its focus to thrive and multiply is just out fertilize, out manufacture the competing plants and then push them out of the way that way. Other plants have a different strategy. They'll poison their neighbor plants so that they can get an edge in. Okay? And trees do that to each other as well. They do that to other plants as well. It's an advantage. Not all trees do that. There are some trees that rely on just trying to produce as fast as they can and as efficiently as they can, and focus on that and try to be successful as efficiently as you can, creating things as efficiently as you can. What do? It's not exactly easy. So it's a good read. I don't know. I don't really have anything else to say about it.